Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes weekly webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I have from our friends at Creative Expressions these beautiful rubber stamps. They're so whimsical. I can't wait to show you what my friend Debbie came up with. And we've also got these amazing little wordy sentiments. They're perfect. We have them for thank you and for friendship. Come back and play with us. So let's start with our Bird Street stamp. It's so cute with all the little birdhouses hanging from the tree. And this is the 6.5 by 5 inch card that Debbie made. And she stamped that with an alcohol-proof ink and then colored it with some tri-blend markers. And we'll get into that in a moment, but let's take a look at the stamp. Isn't that beautiful? I love all the details on that. It's such a nice large image. There we go. And so what Debbie did with that was she used, here we go, let's grab some of that. She stamped on Hunky Dory lightweight essential card block. We call it Stampin' White cardstock because it is just great for that. And used some alcohol-proof ink. Now, Spectrum Noir, the makers of the tri-blend markers, makes a great ink for that. It's labeled very nicely, alcohol-proof dye ink, which is so great. Also Memento, which is a tuxedo black color, and it is also alcohol-proof. So they're both a water-based ink, so they're not reacting with the alcohol-based markers. So here are those markers, and if you want to know exactly which colors she used on this, you can look below the video here at Paper Wishes and just click on the photo of this card and it'll take you to the supply list so you can see all the particular colors. There's so many, I'm not going to be able to go through those today, but I can talk about the inks and the paper and how to color those and all that good stuff. So as you can see here, she did a torn technique on her paper, and she also used another torn mat here, which is so beautiful. I love how she did that. Now these little wordy sentiments are so cool. They come in both friendship and thank you. Okay, and what they are is these sheets that are great to just cut apart. Very nice little sentiments, but you could cut them by hand, or I prefer to use like a cutting platform. What am I thinking of? Like, yeah, a cutting platform, cut those apart with your cutting machine, and that'll be really easy to get these nice little straight lines. And then Debbie just used a little bit of foam tape there. She actually wrapped her mat here with a little bit of like hot pink jute twine and then put her foam tape over that. Very sweet. I love how she did that. So let's take a look at the same stamp, just going in a different direction, a different look here. So this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card, same card, just going vertically with a fold on the side. And for this one, I just went ahead and stamped that so it's kind of running off the edge here. So the edge of that limb, that tree limb, is right there with the fold and just running off the edge there. So you're still getting all the houses. And I used from Spectrum Noir the Watermark translucent clear ink. We have several different inks. We have like Versamark. We also have the Wow embossing pad. All of those work, and I'll link those down below in the supplies used so you can kind of peruse them. But that's just a clear ink pad, nice and sticky, that holds on to this fine detail gold embossing powder. And this stuff is great. It's just nice and bright and shimmery. And of course, you're going to heat that with a heat gun. I just did it and just left it without coloring it. I really liked that look. And then I tore the edges of my card at the top and the bottom. Just such a simple technique to do, so I just took my card, fold right here, and I didn't use a ruler or anything. I really wanted a really chunky chair. But to do this, you just want to kind of pinch it on this side and then just start tearing little by little all the way down. And I would recommend doing this before you stamp on it, because inevitably you stamp on and everything, get it embossed, go to all that work, and then you're tearing it, and then you go whoops, and you don't like your tear. So tear this first and make sure you're happy with it, and then do your stamping. So did that at the top and the bottom, very simple. And then I just took some of that translucent ink, and I just went along that bottom edge, just used the surface of the ink pad, and then just sprinkled on some of the gold embossing powder, or you can just drag it through the excess pile that you just tap off of the card. And then, yeah, just heated that with that embossing, so that heat gun, so I got that really cool torn edge that's got a gilded edge on it, and I even did the back edge too. Okay, so it's just an entirely different look with the same stamp, and that could be applied to all of these. All right, let's take a look at another one. Ooh, I love this one. This is the Beehive Drive. So it's got all these really colorful beehives, which I think is really fun. Debbie stamped directly on the card for this one, and then she took a blending brush and some Lagoon ink on the ink pad and just brushed the little around the edge there, and then went ahead and did her stamping. Well, actually, she did her stamping and then did the edge. Colored those in with Spectrum Noir pens and then added her little greeting here. Now, if you don't mind having the colored image come through on the back, then I would recommend just stamping directly on the card like she did. But if that bothers you, you can actually cover the card with the lightweight Stampin' White cardstock and then color on it, and it won't bleed through. So it's just a preference. Oh, I should show you the stamp. Show them the stamp, Lene. There we go. That's what that one looks like. And just for size. All right. Now, this last one. Oops, here we go. This one is so cool. Debbie did a window. Isn't that neat? I'm going to show you how to do this technique so that you can use it with any size die cutting machine. So the first thing Debbie did was she went ahead and she stamped it on the Stampin' White cardstock. And then she used this large oval scalloped cutting die, and this is from 10 oval and scalloped cutting dies from hot off the press. So once she got that stamped, not colored, just stamped, then go ahead and die cut that image by just placing that right over the cardstock. And I like to say that because go ahead and stamp it for placement, then die cut it. Don't color it first and then die cut it, because you're working with the die cutting machine. Things can happen, right? We've all had that happen where the die slips or the tape, the low-tack tape moves, and things happen, and then you've wrecked your colored image. So just slow down, die cut your stamped image, and then color it once it's die cut. So once that was done, don't glue it down in the back yet. You want to make sure you've got your window cut first. So she covered this blank card, the 6.5 by 5 inch card, with some patterned paper, and she used Swirls Upon Twirls paper pack, which has got all these fantastic swirls, beautiful. And then she placed this sort of medium size cutting die. Well, actually it's the largest size cutting die that's not a scallop. I'm going to pull this one off. I'm going to show you how we did this. Here we go. I'm losing everything. Here we are. So what we like to do is, because this is a 6.5 inch card, it won't fit through your 6 inch wide platform. It's just a little too big. So how do you accommodate for that if you want to make larger cards? And this will work for anything larger than 6 inches wide. Place your die right here where you want to have your window. Then place a sheet of scrap cardstock. Definitely tape this down. I forgot to grab, I always forget to grab my purple hunky-dory low-tack tape, but you can go ahead and put that, tape that down. Once that's secure, then put a sheet of scrap cardstock there. Fold the back of the card over, okay? And then run this 5 inches through your die cutting machine, okay? Now that's gonna give you kind of a little like welt on the back here like Debbie has. See our little code here. So you can see that, okay? But once you place this oval, okay, on top of it, you're not gonna see it from the front. All right, so that covers that. So it's a great way to do that and be able to use this technique with any size card. If you wanted to do a card that was like much larger, it would be no problem. So let me show you this die, or this stamp. Really pretty. And then I like how she did the frame here. She just took both that large scallop and this one, and she just nested those and ran those through the machine using sort of a lavender color. So yeah, really brilliant how she did that, and I love what she came up with. So you guys, we have got a fantastic money saver on these cards. I would really encourage you, not on these cards, on these stamps. I would really encourage you to take a look at that. If you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode, then our money saver is right over there on the right-hand side. And just take a look at that. And then if you want to shop one or two things, just look down below the video, right down there, and we have everything that I've just shown you today is listed there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we haven't forgot about you. Look below the video in the description box, and you'll see a link that'll take you to Paper Wishes and this webisode page. And you know, subscribe. We do 3 to 5 videos a week, and we'd hate for you to miss any of them. And give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. It really helps people find our channel. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.